Our first question, we have 3 that were submitted by fans. And first, a fan named Rima wanted to know what time you like to wake up and what time you go to bed when you don't have to work.
That's a good question, actually. I actually think of myself as definitely more of a night person. I could be up all night long. I stay up all night, whatever. I could, never go to sleep. When it comes to sleeping, I could sleep forever. So it's like the total opposite. I could sleep, ideal, I could sleep till like 12 o'clock,
Wow.
like that's a nice sleep for me. But then again, I'm probably not going to sleep till like 3 or 4. So.
And Rachel was wondering who you turn to when you need advice.
My friends, my family.
Anybody even specific?
Not really. Depends on the advice, I guess. Oh, yeah, John Stewart.
And one anonymous fan on the Jesse message board actually wanted me to ask you whether or not you believe in love at first sight.
Definitely.
And onto more relevant questions to your career. You've done so much in show business, like multiple children's groups and charity groups and boy bands, and this is your second time going solo if you count being the Elvis kid. What else would you like to accomplish in your career?
I really don't think that I've fully accomplished anything, that I've done, I wouldn't
say that.
I've in dream shows and boy band or whatever, but I don't think I've accomplished like the pop world, and I don't think I've accomplished being a solo artist, So technically, I've done a lot of things, but I think to me they've all really been stepping stools to, climb my way onto reaching my ultimate dream and ultimate goal, which in itself is endless. So I don't think I'd ever get there, but that's just living, just so.
Well, I think you're doing a really good job at it.
Thank you very much.
And what are the best and worst parts of going back to performing on your own after being in a group for 3 years?
Best and worst parts? Well, worst parts is, you guys just walked in my dressing room and I'm, sitting here sleeping by myself. The worst parts is probably, when you're on tour with James or whatever. I was literally on tour with my 4 best friends, so it's like you're having a great time, you have a lot of fun together. Being by yourself, sometimes, you're by yourself, well, that's what John's for. He's my new best friend, right? Not Jenny? And, so that's probably like the worst parts about it, but the best parts about it is, even growing up, whatever, I never really considered myself a dancer. I kind of, Jim Street taught me to dance, and then I began to enjoy dancing. I really do like dancing. But, when I was growing up, I never said to myself, I want to be in a boy band when I get older. I always said, I want to be like a rock star, So now I'm really doing what I always dreamed about doing. And it's more me, when you're on stage singing songs that came from your heart rather than songs that somebody else wrote. And, it's a lot more meaningful to me, and it's on stage, you'll never find a show that's the same, pretty much. I don't know what today's show is going to be like. I go out, improvise, whatever happens. And I think that's more me, and I like that. So.
Okay. And, it's been like a year and a half since you did a big, national tour, so it's been a long time since you've been to a lot of the cities that you're coming to.
Very long.
Do you still recognize any of the fans that you haven't seen
Actually,
in a long time?
surprisingly, every now and then a girl will come up and I'll be like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time. She'll scream that I remembered her or something. But, surprisingly, I always say that I have a bad memory or whatever. But when it comes to faces, I'm pretty good at remembering faces when I see a face. Names is another story. I'm absolutely horrible at remembering names. But yeah, actually I see a lot of girls that I remember.
That's cool. Actually, my mom thought of this question, and she wanted me to ask it to you. If you could be in, a fantasy band with any 4 other artists of your choice, living or dead, who would they be, and why?
That's a good question. Fantasy band. You know what? There are so many artists out there, so many that I look up to and that motivate me and inspire me. I don't think it's possible to pick the top 4. I really don't think it would be possible. My band is my favorite band, really. If I was going to be in a band with people, I wouldn't want to be in a band with people who are so much better than me, So I would want, I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't think I can answer that.
And what is the most exciting thing to happen to you so far on this tour?
Most exciting thing so far on this tour?
Yeah.
So far on this tour. I just found out today that my song got added to Radio Disney.
Which one?
Every summer.
That's cool. That's a good song.
So thank you very much.
Are you going to be doing that one tonight?
Oh yeah. So I'm excited. That's really exciting. That's great news.
What about Take Me Back Home?
That was the first single, but what happened was Take Me Back Home, when we decided to pick that as a single or whatever, I had only recorded 3 songs. So we felt that was the best out of the 3, and we chose that. And then by the time we were picking Every Summer, that's after we finished the whole album. Mm-hmm. So the other songs hadn't even existed yet. So then Every Summer came, and then we chose that one.
Oh.
So.
Because a lot of fans have been asking me to ask you whatever happened to Take Me Back Home.
I'll still be doing it today. I'll be singing it today.
Good. I was hoping you were going to do this.
I'll do the second one.
Oh. And just some more random questions that people wanted me to ask. Since you're going to college in the fall, are you going to be moving into a dorm, or are you going to be staying home?
I think I'm making like an apartment in my house, like kind of like attached to the house, but off to the side.
Oh.
So it's my own place, but it's not too far from home.
And since you've always said that you wanted to try doing Broadway plays, if you could have any role in any Broadway play, who do you think you'd want to be?
It'd probably be, I couldn't pick one, but I could tell you my top 3. It'd probably either be Grease, Danny Zuko, is that?
Yeah.
Probably in Grease. I'd either be in Grease, Rent, or Tommy.
Who would you want to be in Rent?
I don't know who I'd want to be. I don't know who I'd want to be in Rent.
What's the lead guy?
Well, I mean, I've seen the show a couple times, but I'm not that lead guy.
Mark?
I think it's Mark. The guy sings one
Roger? Yeah, no, Roger.
Roger.
And what TV character, this one's really random, do you think that you identify with most?
SpongeBob.
Can you tell us why?
No. I have no idea why.
And
Will Smith.
Will Smith? Yeah. Johnny Bravo. No. I have no idea. Scooby-Doo.
And when asked about the perfect girl, a lot of times you say somebody with a sense of humor who can laugh at your jokes.
Right.
What's your favorite joke?
What's my favorite joke?
Yeah.
Everybody always has that. You ever had one? So fun.
No, I have no idea. I don't have a favorite. But do you have a favorite joke?
No.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm a very normal person, just like everybody else. Do you have a favorite joke?
No.
Do you have a favorite joke? Well, then I'm just like everybody else in this room. I don't have a favorite joke.
It's like every you ask that question, it's always like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I get asked questions all the time, like what somebody asked me the other day. If you could create a car, right, and design a car, what would it look like and what would you name it? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was like, every time I get a question that's just so out there, I ask the same question to the person who's asking me. And they're like, how am I supposed to know? And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know? Think I'm any different? I'm not any different.
And
So.
You guys, we have to sound check real quick.
Okay.
So, do you guys want to come on watch for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I have a question about the. Yes. We're doing one.